last time I forgot to record a couple of the fling bites, and I had to go back and call them back up and go, oh, guess what?
So it's all a curve, right?
Yeah, well, I just like to start recording now. That way, we're not live, but at least I have it in the can. And if we can go ahead and get started when you are, you just tell me when you're ready.
Yes, I am ready. I'm going to throw this away and punch a wall, and I'm ready.
All right, let me switch to the speaker view real quick. I'll get a little quick enter. Ready?
You like my beanie?
I do like it a lot. It's beautiful. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, welcome, folks. You know what time it is. It's Fling Bite time. And right now, we have our wonderful one and only Miss Chrissy Fountain. Chrissy, what's going on this week in your part of the world?
Hey, Chris. Good to be here tonight. Well, it was quite an eventful weekend. Well, actually, it wasn't an eventful weekend because, as you know, we got some freezing temperatures at the end of last week. We got some freezing rain, some ice that stuck on the ground, and pretty much canceled most of the events that were going down in the Austin area. The Bat City Open, unfortunately, got canceled. The weather was great on Saturday and Sunday. However, due to all of the rain we got on Wednesday, plus all of the freezing rain we got on Thursday, and then the really, really cold temperatures on Friday, there was just never an opportunity for the course to dry out or not enough time for the sun to soak up all of that moisture. So the course was just not in a playable condition for the weekend. However, we did have a really beautiful day on Saturday. So the Mint Discs crew made the most of it by throwing a mini and a early release goat party on Sunday at Live Oak Brewery, where we were supposed to have the tournament. So we made the most of it. We had 104 players come out and play in the mini. It was really, really fun. Des put on a clinic, gave us some insight on some of her amazing putting tips, and we just had a good time. So that's pretty much what went down this weekend. I also want to give a shout out to my teammate, Stephanie Vincent, who played in the Teamwork Mini. Teamwork is a new club that formed a couple of months ago, and they're making big waves here in Austin. And they had a $500 ace pot plus all of the money that was paid in for that day. And she took home the big old ace pot. And so big shout out to my teammate, Steph Vincent, for her big ace. And yeah, that was this past weekend. And then this coming up weekend is pretty quiet for the most part. There's a tournament up in Dallas, the Cedar Hill Chill, that's put on by Dynamic Discs. That's going to be a big tournament. So good luck to all the players out there playing in the Cedar Hill Chill. That's 2 really, really fun courses to get out and throw on. And but as for me, I think on Saturday, I'm going to spend the day with Stephanie Vincent and Des Reading, and we are going to go out to the ranch in Welder, Texas, where we're about to have the WTF Open coming up in April. And we're going to map out the course. We're going to maybe adjust some tee pads, shorten up some holes, make sure we have the layout really nailed down for this weekend. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time out there on Saturday, starting some preparations for that tournament.
Awesome. I can't wait. That's great. Okay, so that's good. I'll edit that all in. Wonderful. Also, is it the WTF? Is that the one that you already have the picture of that I snapped the little the top of it for Catherine Leach's WTF that she was signing up, but it has y'all's 3 picture on the bottom of it as well?
Maybe. I don't know. You might have to send me a picture of it so I can confirm.
Okay, but it's you, Stephanie, and I forgot the other lady's name. Renee, yeah. It's y'all 3 on the bottom. And it says WTF, and it's got the blue basket and the whole thing on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's really well done.
Yeah, and do the event page. That way, you'll see all the updates and the happenings and stuff on the event page.
I think that's where I got that picture from. So I'll just capture that picture from that. And then the other thing was in Dallas, you said. I'll try to capture that. I try to fly in the pictures as well, just to, I did that at Live Oak Brewery. That's Live Oak. That's from their page too. So I flew that picture in.
Right on.
Yeah. So it's getting better. They're getting a little funner. People are really liking them. We got a huge turnout also for our ace pot. We had 71 people show up for a
Wow.
$1,000 ace. And it was about 29 degrees when we first teed off. So it was cold, but it ended
Yeah.
up being just absolutely stunning. The day was beautiful. I mean, just
Sure.
stunning. So, and of course, Alex Hughes hit it, won $1,089
That's
after
amazing.
everything was paid out.
Wow. Whew. Those minis, man.
Oh, I tell you what. Plus, you know, it's funny. He asked me to pay him by PayPal, and they didn't ask me this time after getting it all finally figured, sent to them. They unlocked the account, figured out what I was doing with that account. When I paid him by PayPal, it automatically did not let me send it as friends and family. It took $32 out.
Oh, it's so irritating.
And I told Alex, and unfortunately, him being so nice, and I didn't know that from my end because it didn't say that to me. It didn't say, hey, he's getting charged $32. Because I know Alex. I told him, I said, hey, I'll give you cash. I'll meet you somewhere. He lives close, probably not even 10 minutes away. He goes, I know it's probably easier PayPal. $32 easy charge right there.
Dang.
I'm closing it out. I can't wait to talk to the tax lady. I'm glad you posted that other question as well.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear what she has to say for sure. Speaking of PayPal and that kind of stuff, would the Fling Show like to be a tea sponsor for the WTF Open? It's $50.
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Yay.
Of course. Yeah, we love it. I mean, you watch that Catherine Leach one too, if you get a chance, because that was really mainly what she was talking about was the WTF. And so if you get a chance, it's only about 3 minutes long. It's not very long.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. So, hey, for tonight, I'm not going to go over what happened this weekend or anything else either. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to set up the show and say, hey, we have an incredible guest this evening, an incredible show lined up for you tonight. We have our own touring pro, Miss Chrissy Fountain. Chrissy, how are you doing this evening? I can't wait for you to bring your guest on tonight. Let's tell everybody about her. Boom, you say everything about her and we'll bring her right on. That way, I like to kind of save these other things for like little bites, I'm saying, to where it gives us a little more content throughout the week. And we've really been getting a lot of traffic from it. So I really like it.
Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully she logs on soon. I was just texting with her, so she should be on soon.
Yeah, so we'll just go straight. Like I said, I know. Did you see the cover? You like my cover today?
I did like your cover.
Colors were beautiful. I mean, I was like, man, that really pops out. It makes me go, I kind of like that. Oh, because this is going to be the opening shot anyway. So I'm not going to be even in the screen.
I love
it. So I'm going to start it with the song, the Fling Show song, and then I'm going to switch it over to this one. And then I'm going to just kind of turn myself into it like this.
Oh boy. Okay,
and then, like I said, I think it just kind of makes it fun and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and go right into it, introduce you to, and you basically lead the interview. Even if I might have a question, me, sometimes I do, but even if I don't, and you feel good to wrap it up, wrap it up in your normal way.
Oh, she says she's waiting to be let in.
I don't have anybody waiting to get in.
Oh, it says the host has another meeting in progress.
You know what? Would you go ahead and resend her the code and tell her to re-enter it? Or did you send her something else?
I just sent her 727-802-0715.
And that's how you got in, right?
No, I clicked the link that you sent me earlier. Should I try to?
You know what? I sent her that link as well.
Let me get out of this one, and then maybe
you want me to send you? Well, just forward her that link.
I did, but she said she's on her iPad, so she can't get to it. But here, why don't I get out of this one and then see if she can get in, and then I'll try to get in on that one. We'll try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Test 1 2 1 2 test. I sent the same link to her Jay and Des Reading IM. Is that the one that she's on?
Well, she just doesn't. Jay's the one who does all of their Facebook. She doesn't ever see any of that. So I forwarded it to her through text message. Then she said she was using her iPhone and not her iPad.
It really shouldn't matter. I used to use my iPhone too.
Because I thought that your like text came through on
Oh
your.
yeah, because I would always have to dial in. That is true. I would have to use that dial-in code, which is the TFS, right? Did you send her that number?
Yeah, I sent her that. It's weird. I'm just gonna email her this.
Yeah, if you can email the link, or if you give me the email, I can send her the direct link as well.
Let's see.
Hold on, let me get into her email invite page. Hold on a second. If you tell me her email, I can send her an invite.
I'm sending it right now to her email.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll work. Reading 15863 AING 15863 at gmail.com. Send. Okay, let's see if this works. Please work.
There
Please
we
work.
go. I got her. Here
Oh, yeah. We're only 5 minutes late. Woohoo!
All right. Let me get back to everything.
It worked.
Go. Hold on. All right.
Hey.
Good
Hey,
evening.
We did it.
We did it. Never go with
Seems to always be.
like,
Okay. Well, good evening, Des. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. It's good to see you again, Chris.
You as well. Chrissy, you want to go ahead and go over the show, and then I'm going to go ahead and just get us ready into speaker view right now, okay?
Yeah. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We're keeping it, short and sweet tonight. We're just going to go over those questions that I sent you earlier. We're going to try not to really get off on any kind of tangents or anything like that. Just keep it straight and to the point and talk about the GOAT. And
I hope you like your little page I made for you today.
It's great. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, some wonderful pictures to choose from, that's for sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to play the song to you. It's okay, don't lose my mic there. And then I'm going to introduce Chrissy and let her just go ahead and take over from there, okay? And
Sounds
so
good.
we'll be going live here in just a moment. So you'll probably see on just a moment that it'll say going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, hello this evening. Welcome to the show. Just a little bit late, but at least we are live this evening. So thank y'all for tuning in. Tonight we have a wonderful guest on, and we're going to get straight to it. But first, we're going to bring on our own wonderful pro, Miss Chrissy Fountain, to bring on our wonderful guest tonight, Miss Des Reading. Chrissy, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Chris, I'm doing good. I am happy to be here tonight. It's a wonderful Monday night. So thanks, as always, for having me.
Oh, no, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get right into this. I know we have a lot of questions. I know a lot of people are very interested in hearing what Miss Reading has to say. So let's get right to it.
Yeah, super awesome guest tonight, my friend and new teammate, Des Reading. Welcome to the show again.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thanks to Fling Show. Thanks, Chris. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Good stuff. So were you happy with the clinic and the GOAT party yesterday? It was a fun day.
Yeah, it actually, I feel a huge adrenaline crash almost today. I did go out and I practiced. It was a really good day to take the goats out into the wind. But yesterday was a whirlwind. I mean, what a great response. The GOAT, the Mint team, Live Oak Brewery all had out there. It was an overwhelming and an abundance of joy and love. And I can definitely say I am feeling it right when the sun set down today. It was like everything just left my body. It was like, oh, that's it. I'm wind whipped. My lips are all chapped, but I think it's all smile and everything else that went on.
Oh, it was such a good day. I was so happy to get to go out there. And I think that the guys did a really good job of salvaging the weekend, because as a lot of people know, the tournament had to get rescheduled because of all the crazy weather that Central Texas went through. But I would say, despite all of those circumstances, yesterday was a really, really, really fun day. So anyways, I just want to kind of get straight into it. I think there's a lot of people here who are dying to know, and me as well, just kind of how did you initially get connected with Zach and Guy and Chris? Is definitely one, is part one to that question. And then after that connection was made, how did that develop into your new sponsorship?
Okay. Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, I had just resigned from the PDGA. I feel like I was maybe starting to do Tim Slinsky's. I actually forgot to look at that date, but in September, when I resigned from the PDGA and my role within the Youth and Education initiative, I basically became a free agent. Now, Innova did keep me on their website as a Hall of Fame and a legacy player. So when I resigned from the PDJ, I can say I had all intentions to go back to Innova. It was someone I had been with for 20 years, very, comfortable with, the disc that I had in my bag. And when I had the really good showing at Tim Selinsky's, I never really made a good announcement, the fact that I was available for sponsorship. But the Texas disc golf scene is what it is, and it's a really great scene to be part of. So, I've been down here for 20 plus years, and we're really connected. We might not see each other at all points in times, but everyone kind of knows what's going on. And the Mint Disc was always on my radar as just a great company, knowing Guy and Zach for a long time. Chris with Bearded Brothers. I mean, that company alone stands on itself with right into my wheelhouse of being environmentally friendly, organic, and good for the earth and the soul. So, they knew I was a free agent, and I think they just started to really work their wheels on what it might take to put me into that Mint family. And from those initial responses, they might send me a disc here and there, and I was curious. I mean, they're beautiful plastics. I mean, you look at the Mint plastics and they're fab. They're just beautiful to look at, and then you can actually feel them, and it's exciting. I went out and I threw the Jackalope and the Mustang were the two first discs that I actually had, and then I had some profits in the workshop that I would throw around in the backyard, and so that was kind of like my little wheelhouse of 3 discs, and it just kind of kept accumulating from there. And as my negotiations with Innova continued, Mint really put the step on and the hammer down on my Innova contract. I mean, what they offered to go forward, they really saw the value in what I have done and what I could do for them. And I still do. The clinic yesterday was a really good example. I mean, we had a great crew out there, from young kids to old couples and families, and that's really where I shine. I've done everything that I can feel like I can do in disc golf. There's so much more to do, but it all relates to what I've already done. And Mitt really went above and beyond to seize those opportunities. I'm excited to be part of the team. I'm really excited because they treat women really well also. I mean, yourself, Stephanie, and Renee, the way they spoke to me, really was a big highlight. It was a big switch up from what I had been used to in the disc golf scene.
Wow. Oh, I have goosebumps just from hearing that. Those guys are amazing. They go above and beyond for us. And I'm really excited in the direction that we're moving in. I was kind of thinking about kind of what my plans were for this year, and oh goodness, my contact is feeling a little messed up. Sorry about that. Anyways, and I knew Stephanie was going out on tour, and this is before you had announced your sign, or I even knew about it. And I said, Stephanie's going on tour this year, and Renee is really good at running tournaments. And I was like, man, I need to find like a niche. I need to find something that can kind of be my like special thing, I guess. And I was thinking back on what I did last year, and I did a bunch of clinics and had a lot of fun with those. So I said, I'm just going to take that and put the pedal to the metal and try to, go for that. And so that's kind of what I'm working on this year. And now we have you, and I'm not going to lie, I had like heard rumors a little bit that you were coming on, and then in our, we have a group page for Facebook for our team. And we had a Christmas party back in December, and Zach made a post, and he was like, let me know if you're coming to the Christmas party, and then let me know if you have a +1. And Stephanie Vincent commented on it, and she was like, I'll be there, and I have a +1. And I was like, it's Des. It's going to be Des. I know Des is going to be the +1. And then we got to the Christmas party, and she showed up with Sarah Hokum, and I was like, what? I was so confused. But then, a couple of weeks later, we got the announcement, and I'm just so happy. I'm so excited. We'll get around in together eventually.
It does really feel like a great team to be part of. I was captain of the Innova team for, basically, I think almost my entire career, I was almost captain for the Innova team, maybe with the exception of the first 2 years when I started. But the Mint team really does feel like a team. I mean, everyone really cares. And just like you were excited, I really didn't want to come to the Christmas party. I hadn't quite signed at that point in time. So I thought it might be in bad form to come. We were still negotiating some good things. And I did look at all of the pictures and all the good stuff, and just the media that Mint actually puts out for their team. It's exciting. I'm excited really to be a part of all of it. I couldn't fallen into anything better, I think. I mean, it's right here in the wheelhouse. It's full circle with, I think about Zach, going to school at Texas State. And when Jay and I first moved down here, it was Southwest Texas. And we helped really save that course along with some other college kids were at the time, a couple of other adults that were fans of disc golf. And if that course might not have, stayed in the ground, maybe Zach wouldn't have got into disc golf. And so it's just a really great full circle when I think about knowing these guys, guy since 2005, rolling around with the Texas 10 and the hot tour with the Justice. It's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of when I think about it. And my first little, chance to take a chance on myself to come to Texas. Now I'm sponsored by a Texas company. It's exciting.
It really doesn't get better than that. And Steph and I were playing at the Live Oak Mini yesterday, and we kind of touched on, gosh, our team is so amazing. And we're not even talking about in the sense of disc golf. We're just talking about the people. There's just, I don't know, Zach and Guy and Chris, they just knocked it out of the park putting this team together. I mean, there's not any discord, there's not, everybody gets along, I feel like if any of us were going through something or had a moment in time where we're like, oh my God, I'm stranded on the side of the road because I have a flat tire, we could call anybody on the team, they would drop whatever they were doing and we would all be there for each other. And it's just really incredible environment to be a part of. And I'm just really, really good stuff. Okay, but enough about that. I want to kind of move on a little bit. So we touched on this a little bit, or you did, whenever you were talking about, your decision to, how you were planning on moving forward with Innova. I feel like there was a lot of media and publicity and posts saying, Des made this big switch from Innova and like she's leaving Innova to go to Mint, which like in a sense is true. But also, when we had talked last time, I don't think you had quite, like you were still with the PDGA at that point, and maybe you were kind of on your way out. But at that point, I think I incorrectly said like, oh, you're sponsored by Innova, and you were like, actually, I'm not. I think there's a little bit of like misconception about you like leaving Innova to go to Mint. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's just a blurred line, because Innova did always have me on the website. I was completely still throwing all Innova and repping Innova through my play and my demeanor. Now, I didn't wear logos. Those were all things that you can't do when you have a job within the PDJ. You actually have to release all of your sponsorships. Now, board members, because they are a volunteer driven, they get to keep their sponsorships. But as an employee, you had to resign from your sponsors. So which I did. And when I resigned from the PDJ within, I just did have every opportunity. I feel like I was going back to Innova. And so I think that's where that blurred line is. Now, was I sponsored by them? No, for like a year and a half to 2 years when I was with the PDJ, I didn't take any sponsorship through Innova. But because of all of my past history with them, it did feel like a leaving. I mean, there were still mournful periods when you think about just all of the stuff that I've done with Innova in the past, all the clinics, all of the world championships, my Hall of Fame. So, all of these things they're mine, but I shared them with my sponsor. And, I'm giving away and parting with some disc, and some of them never got a chance to throw, and they, feel sad about them a little bit. But it's been a great switch. I can say I'm really excited to throw my new disc. I'm really there hasn't been anything that I'm missing out of my bag right now. And I think that is beyond anything that I would have ever thought about, because I was so in my hole with my Innova bag, and now the Mint plastic has really opened up a whole new game for me. It's allowing me to throw harder than I have in the past, and just experience some new shots. And like I said, oh my gosh, the plastic is just lovely. I haven't had such a pretty sparkly plastic for such a long time.
So sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I just wanted to get in because there was a question, if you don't mind, asked by one of our viewers who would like to know, because you just finally got into the disc a little bit. You had those two beautiful discs behind you, plus the two that I put on the pace today, the GOAT. The gentleman, Jay Stanford, I will not try to pronounce the other part of his name because I'm terrible at those things. He was asking, how does the GOAT fly?
All right. So I went out today and I threw it in the goat. Speed wise is a 12, 5, -1, and 3. And I've been really pounding about 3 to 4 goats since I've got them. So mid-January, I actually kind of got them right before I went up to Iowa. Throwing them in a frozen cornfield really wasn't the super best test to start with, but you kind of get the idea. So the goat flies very similar to it's a high speed power driver. So, I mean, it's hard to compare to what it would throw like with things, maybe a destroyer, I guess, in a sense. It's been a while since I've thrown such a nice high speed driver, because when I had stopped with my bag, I was throwing a lot of road runners. I can say it's exciting to be able to throw this 12 speed driver. Today, I actually hit a breakthrough with it. Because I'm throwing them more, I'm able to get the power turn on them, and they're actually fighting wind and holding just the right amount of turn to fade, and they're just finishing within the perils of the fairway where I'm aiming. So I know that's pretty specific because I'm really watching them. I'm actually going out when I'm throwing in the field. It's all goats and maybe Mustangs. Today it was windy, so it was all goats and my Longhorns. And that's kind of how I've been working my discs in. It's actually a great forehand roller. I was just kind of jacking around a little bit, going back to, that's kind of how you learn new shots. So I was going back to the spot where I wanted to throw them, threw a couple forehand rollers, and they track really well. So what I'm noticing, some of the free tails and everything that I am throwing on a real severe flip up hyzer, they look beautiful in flight. And then I'm working over a nice S curve with the goats. And it's a different look for me to look at, and it doesn't seem like it goes as far. And then I go up there and it's smashing all of my other distant distance. So it's really got sneaky distance. It's very exciting. And the feel of it, it's not a really fat rim on it. So I'm able to get a nice grip on it. And I think that's the good appeal too, that it's going to appeal. It's kind of like I've been saying, it's a get out and throw disc, kind of an acronym also for the GOAT. And as I've been playing with it, I've allowed bystanders to throw. So when I was out playing at Live Oak and doing some filming, 2 casuals, they asked me if they wanted to throw the GOAT. I was able to watch those guys throw it. I had a power pro down in San Antonio throw it. So I'm able to see the different break points, and it's an exciting disc. I think as it continually breaks in, people are really going to see a lot of power, and it's got power to glide, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really having fun mashing some forehands with it. So I can't wait to keep breaking it in. And this is the one I have bagged right now, and it got its first little scuffs on it yesterday. It's always a good sign. I like that feeling. I'm curious about the timeline, and I think maybe some other people are curious too. So was the GOAT in production when you signed, and they just renamed it the GOAT after you signed, or what was the timeline of the release of the disc and then you signing with Mint?
The GOAT was in production when we were in negotiations. So Mint knew in their lineup that they needed a power distance driver. And so they named the GOAT, all on their own. I was not in the mix at that point in time. It was a smasher, Zach and Guy just knew it was going to smash. And they wanted to make it clear to the public that this is a great disc for you to try and throw, to be a great of all time. And then to their accord, it's a heavy acronym when you think about the greatest of all times. I have a great amount of stats. I mean, I'm in the Hall of Fame. So I do have a lot of GOAT stats out there. I'm a GOAT in the pin. I'm definitely an educating GOAT. So I love to get out and throw. We all have our time on the hill, and I gotta love them. They did all their homework on me, and they felt incredibly comfortable on putting my name on this. And what an honor, a shared honor, to be able to be with a company that realized that, hey, all of that work that you did, that is great. That's what we feel about this disc, and it really put a mark on it. I'm flattered. I'm honored. I'm flattered. I really want to represent the company because they believe in me. I believe in them.
You said that this was your first signature disc.
It is, yeah. Innova never offered women signature discs. I mean, that's why Valerie left over the time. We had toggles back and forth. I mean, with the exception, Juliana does have the JK AVR, which when she came from Discraft, she had the Valkyrie and then she had her JK AVR. And so those were two discs that they, brought her over from Discraft with into the Innova fold. But as Val and I went up the ranks and became both 3-time open world champions, we just never could crack that ceiling. And it was, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be able to put all that time in there, and it's still the amount of miles to grind over maybe a one-time male champion who deserves a disc too, because to win a world championship is hard, and to do it multiple times is even harder. So yes, it is my first disc, and I'm a Capricorn and I love goats. There were so many things that went on when they proposed the goat as one of my signature discs. And so a year ago on my birthday, I had just an impromptu farm country drive and stopped by to buy some flowers, danced with the goat. The day they offered me a contract, that random video came up on our computer screen. So there were so many little kismet things that happened that just knew it was going to land in the right spot.
Well, I really hate to be corny and cliche, but it all just sounds like it was meant to be.
It was meant to be, for sure.
Guys, we have a good question from one of our viewers. Matt Lang said, "What is it like having a spouse who is sponsored by another company?"
All right, so that was a lot of things that we had to unpack. So after 20 years, we had to unpack that. The great thing is I've had partnerships, and I've played doubles with other competitors from other companies. Sheila Kirkham and I were great partners, and she was Discraft, and everything is, going to work out. I mean, for Jay and I, we don't have any issues. I don't feel like there's any issues on Innova's side, because what Jay is doing with the Innova team is phenomenal work. What I'm doing with the Mint team is phenomenal work. And in the end, all of discs make disc golf go round. And so that's the attitude we need to continually foster.
100%. I totally agree. Good answer. Wow, Chris, you want to chime in here? I know you had a question or two that you wanted to throw at Des.
Well, one thing I did want to say to my fellow Capricorn, I knew there's something that we had in common, because I'm a Capricorn also. And then you started talking about SWT, which not a bunch of people know about that, but I was back in there in about 82 to about 88, 89. So if you were in that area at that time, we probably crossed paths sometime. So I just love that. But I did really appreciate what you did for the PDGA, but I did want to kind of get into the WTF and what that kind of, what that means to you, and what you think about that growing and moving forward.
Yeah, the women throwing frisbees is, what a great organization. So when I want to say it might have been, I was down here maybe 5 or 6 years. It might have been around 2005 or 6. Laura Coffey and Patty Justice, Stephanie Vincent. These were some really movers and shakers that were coming up. And I'm heat and really traveling at the peak of my career at this point in time. And they have just started to foster the women's scene. And we have just continually seen it grow and grow. And through the Texas Women's Championship, the TWC, that was a really good benchmark and an indicator to work the women's scene. It started to have a rivalry with the tournaments in Oregon that would start saying like, no way, TWC and WTF, we have, 88 women. And so then the WTF and the TWC would have 92 women on the next tournament. So the WTF has really taken a great idea, weathered some lean years when we didn't have as many women throwing, and stuck with it. And what they've done with like Chrissy's clinics and Renee running a lot of doubles, and then Steph just being a fabulous touring pro, we're really starting to see the women take flight. And I think the women on women and the women growing the women's scene really does help to foster that. And that's something that we've really just with the WTF have caught legs on. And because it is women's legs helping women, it's really starting to soar.
Amen to that. And Chrissy and I have had conversations about this, and she knows exactly how I feel. And off air, she can explain that to you. I'm not going to go to it in depth, but I'm on y'all's side for sure. And I just love what is going on. Catherine Leach down here, Nikki Wyatt, our own Meredith Geary, they're just putting in the work, and they're also just growing it as much as they can. And it's just been a wonderful thing to see. We also did have another question from one of our viewers, Mr. Fishhead Tim McCroy. You may know who this gentleman is. He said, any chance Des can influence mint to create the mint condor?
I think it's probably in the works, Fish. You know how we like to have those big things fly. I'll try hard. It'll be floppy.
Yes, I'll that bandwagon with you for sure. That's definitely right up Fish's alley. I see another question that we got, and you guys keep them coming. We love the questions. Anything you have, throw them at us, please. Jennifer Watson Ketz wants to know, what else is in your new bag? Inquiring minds in Michigan want to know.
Yeah, so in my new bag, I've been really liking the Alpha. And originally I was kind of like rolling around with the Royal Alpha, which is kind of their DX to buttery plastic. And then I was curious of how it was going to bead in. And now I'm starting to talk to other pros, and I'm seeing how it's beading in. You know, Texas is hard with our rocks, and it is just diamond the way it beats in. It's surprising. The Jackalope is phenomenal in this Apex Swirly Mustang. Oh, Jen Ketz, I can't wait for you to throw that, because that is so perfect for you. I know this one.
Do you have anything non-mint left in your bag? Let me preface that by letting all of our viewers know that part of our mint contract, as of right now, we are still allowed to throw a mixed bag. We do not have to exclusively mint plastic. So with that being said, are you all mint, or do you still have a couple of Innova molds in there?
I currently am only bagging the Des Reading Stingray. It is very specific towards me. Innova did this to my specifications, and so I have not taken that out of my bag. And then on certain days, you gotta love a Yeti putter. It's just a really beautiful forehand putter for me. So I'm bagging just the family disc right now with the Des Stingray and the Yeti. But otherwise, Mint has had a great transition to find everything that I need right now.
All right, we got another one. They're coming fast and furious. Do you throw or flick the Longhorn? And I do both with the Longhorn. And I keep telling Chrissy, because I've come so close to acing at Spring Valley, I'm an ace with that one.
I do. I'm throwing the Eternal Longhorn, and right now it is a great power flip hyzer for me, and I am learning a flick with it. I can say the Longhorn and the Goat, the flick has been the weakest part of my game. I think anyone that started in the mid 90s, we just have always struggled. It's something we have to really tune ourselves in to learn a flick, because we didn't have those high-speed drivers to really start with. Scott Stokely was one of the anomalies that had the ability to flick some of those older plastics on a precision. So yes, I do backhorn the Longhorn. Eternal for that one is my favorite plastic currently.
It's funny that you would bring up Mr. Stokely, because Chrissy asked him, I don't know if you got to see that interview we had with him, but that was one of the questions that Chrissy asked him. She goes, do you prefer to be dominant flick? And he said, no, you have to be both. And he said, if you could ask, if parents told you what's the best advice you could give their kids, of course, and Scott Stokely's perfect way, he goes, quit school and just play nothing but disc golf.
Oh boy.
That was a epic interview that we had with him. He also said that you need to have every single shot in your bag, a scuba, a roller, I don't even know what else, the tomahawk, a thumber, like all of
Grenade.
the things.
Thumbers.
I was like, okay, I need to start practicing. Let me go spend 45 minutes in my backyard trying to learn how to throw a scuba.
It is probably really true. I mean, I think if you look at what I just did today, just like goofing around, going back to my spot, I was throwing those forehand rollers. I didn't do that, but that is something that I have always done too, is in between setting up for different shots, it is fun to do a scuba or a forehand roller or some kind of like high profile flick or a pancake. The Edge skill shot identifies 20 skills to be a proficient disc golfer, and we originated that back in 2002. And so even back then, there was about 20 skills that and they range from upside downs, forehand rollers, backhand rollers, sidearms, obstructed on the knee, pretty much everything that you see out there on the course. So Stokely, he's right.
All right, couple more questions real quick. Jim the Beast Backus, one of our most wonderful viewers and loyal viewers we have, he asks, will there be an eternal version of the GOAT? And the second question, we can just go ahead and get through them, is what is the best mint disc for a beginner?
I do believe there will be another eternal version of the GOAT. Mint has, I guess I cannot speak for it right now, but I can say almost for certain, just because of all their other lines have the different plastics. So I think it does make sense. All of the different plastics have little bits of nuances to make them work across the spectrum. The best mint disc to start with would be the Mustang or the Jackalope. If you want a driver, then it's the Freetail all the day. But if you were just looking for one to play with, then the Mustang is going to be able to do everything for you. And if you are in a wooded course, then I would suggest the Jackalope.
Totally agree. Totally 100% agree. Okay, a couple more. We're just going to keep firing them at you. Jose Garza wants to know, are you doing the Northwest Swing, Beaver State Fling, and the Portland Open?
Oh, those are the ones I am missing. I did score the Disc Golf Pro Tour card. I filed for the exemption and did all the paperwork and made all the qualifications. So I'm stoked to be able to play in basically all of the Pro Tour events besides that West Coast swing. I'm not going to be able to make it again. It has been forever. I actually just dusted off. I have 5 Beaver State Fling trophies, and I have to get a Q-tip because they're so beautiful. I did that yesterday, thinking about how sad it is that I don't get to go back out there.
You'll get there.
Are you putting bullets or profits?
I am currently putting bullets right now. The Prophet was my first one. The Prophets are now coming back into the warehouse, so I am going to pick up a few more. I think they're going to be a good throwing disc. And I had the firm, mediums, and softs all in my repertoire when I first started putting. All of them worked really well. I can say the firms, I had pretty good success from far back, but I couldn't take the sound the firm plastic made on the chains. And so I just put that one away and did not come back to the firm. And then between the medium, the soft feels so good. So I am right now putting soft bullets and I love it. The one thing I never had to change any of my form from my AVR driver that I would put, but I changed my focal point to the middle and center from normally just kind of let everyone talks about looking towards the center to the right. I actually just changed my focal point and that made all the difference with those bullets. And right now I'm putting fantastic. I love them.
Chris, I'm going to let you ask the next question. Do you see this one that came in?
I have not. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you. So Jay, I'm going to totally emaciate this last name. Jay Stanford Michaelis. Oh my gosh, I probably said that so wrong. He says, love seeing these Texas brands representing. Maybe this isn't a question you can answer, but do you see a future where mint discs are manufactured in Texas?
That would be a question for the mint company, but
Yes.
They are manufactured in the USA out of premium quality plastic.
Yep. Totally agree with that one.
And those minutia questions are silly anyway, but you know.
No, they're good. Those are good questions.
I know, but it's the minutia part of, you know, a company here and a thing there. So we're not, Chris and I have already had that discussion. So I've actually asked all the questions I'm going to ask because if not, I know this thing could keep rolling all night long. So Chris, you wrap it up when you're done, but I do want to say, Des, thank you so much for coming on. I hope to have you on again in the future. Of course, I think we will as well. So thank you so much and congratulations with signing with Mint Disc. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I've got to. Everybody who's watching, the GOAT releases tomorrow. Look at these. That's really GOAT. The goat's officially released to the public tomorrow at 8 p.m. So you guys set your alarms and make sure to grab some. They will be available through Mint's website, but also make sure to check out your local retailers. Sometimes whenever they sell it on the website, you can still find some at your local retailers' websites. And that's sometimes where people have more luck. I personally will be posting a little stash that I went and handpicked myself. I have about 20 that I'm going to be posting for sale, and all of that will go to support my tour fund for this year. So keep your eyes open for that as well. And that's all I've got though. Des, do you have any closing statements?
No, just because you guys are in the Houston area, there are the shout outs with Spring Valley, their rep for Mint, and also Gorilla Discs. They've been fantastic. Shout out to you guys for giving me some hookups on some Longhorns too. I'm excited to bag those. And to Jay, he's been incredibly supportive of my switch to Mint and really just giving me the ability to shine and go forward with this. And then to the Mint family and to the public of Texas and everyone else, I feel the love. I mean, I'm getting discs from people so I can check out and make sure I get my bag set the way I want. And just yesterday, all the love that was spread out there. After 20 some years, it's amazing. I can still get so much back. It gives me exciting to give it back out. So I feel I'm happy. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Des. Have a wonderful night. Hopefully I'll see you out at the ranch this weekend.
That's right. Go.
Cool.
Good night. Thank you, Des. Oh man, that's just awesome.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. I knew it would be. I knew it was going to be amazing from the moment that you broke the news, and I knew that you were waiting till the last moment. But you were wrong in one thing. You don't have 20. You only have 18, because 2 of those are mine.
Oh,
You know that. I've already told you. So 2 of those are mine. You had 18. You know,
you're gonna love them. You're gonna mash your forehand on these, and
something in
you're
the 170 range. You pick them out. You know, I like light colors. I don't care which ones. Just pick me out 2 cool ones in the 170 range, and I'm good to go. But you only have 18.
only have 18. Duly noted.
All right. Well, Chrissy, thank you so much. Anything else? I'm so.
I have one more thing. Oh,
Sure.
I have 2 things, but they're both in regards to the WTF Open that is going to be happening in April. The first thing is that we are accepting T-Sign sponsorships as of right now. So it's $50 for a T-Sign sponsorship. Get your logo on one of the holes. And if you are interested in sponsoring a T-Sign, please send me a message and I will get you in contact with the correct people to talk to. And then the second part of that is that, ladies, don't forget the registration opens in 1 week, and 1 week is Valentine's Day, right? So all of you guys who need to know, like, are trying to figure out what to get your girls for Valentine's Day, sign them up for the WTF Open. And that's their Valentine's Day present. So I cannot wait for that tournament. We're going to have the juniors out there playing at lunch. It's going to be ran by women, for women. It's going to be an epic day in Wilder, Texas. So I hope to see women from all across the state come and join us on Saturday, April 16th.
That is awesome. Well, great news. And Chrissy, we got a fling bite we're going to be putting on this week for you. So everybody gets to also know what's going on the rest of this week with the wrap up of what happened last week. We'll be posting that also soon. And until then, next time we'll see you. You have a great time. Okay.
You too. Good night, Chris.
Throw something in the air, play disc golf, right?
Play disc golf.
All right. Well, all right, folks. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. I have to, before we leave, thank our sponsor here at the show, Lone Star Disc. They are a wonderful sponsor, understanding what we do here at the Fling Show, which is shed light on everything disc golf. I really enjoyed tonight what Des said is that there's enough space for everybody. And just because we're sponsored by Lone Star, which is a wonderful company here in Conroe, Texas, doing everything they can do for this area as well. And we're very proud of them as well. It's the understanding that we're here to grow the sport. So until next time, folks, grow the sport. Say something nice to somebody, even if you're not even asked to do so. Play disc golf, throw something there. Until next time, peace.